Hey, yo, it's your girl Pharaoh, and when I drip, you sip. Welcome to my Matrix. Today's drip is called Mr. Freeze Has No Chill. Let's take a sip.
Yeah. Listen.
All right, my peeps. This one's a little difficult to relay, to be honest, because I gotta say it. I gotta be real upfront with you. You know, I went from voting for Obama to voting for Trump. I went from being a Democrat to becoming a Republican and being very proud of that. I come from the hood. I don't want my people to struggle. I think we all want to be rich, correct? We don't want to be poor. We don't want to be broke, right? We don't want to be living off of food stamps. Let my people go. No, we're great. We can do great things. And we will do great things. We have done great things. And we will continue to do so. But it looks like this Republican move is it's just not it. I'm starting to rethink the party lines, honestly. And not that I was completely Republican. I'm not going to say that I was like a freaking all right, it's true and just 100% a Republican. Never. I always consider myself centric, more towards the middle. And if you ask me, I really do think that we need a purple party. And it's just common sense. Because when you mix blue with red, what do you get? Purple. In the middle. Right? That's what we need. We need a new party and we need a new modern party, one that stands up front, not one that stands to the wayside, like the independent party that no one cares about. We need something that is strong, something that has base, something that has total and complete support. And I bet that if this purple party were to be introduced right now, everyone would join the purple party. Not everyone, but I would say a good healthy amount, 30 to 40% of people would probably join the middle party right now, which would be the purple party. So anyway, moving on to the major point of this episode. Today, I'm sure you heard the House vote passed to release those Epstein files. Now, while everyone else is celebrating, yay, with the Epstein files, honestly, I could care less, to be honest. I know that sounds crazy to you, but I have common sense. I understand these things when it comes to business, charities, um, blackmail. I get it all. So I'm not really concerned by what's in the Epstein files. The survivors, the victims have already spoken out and claimed that Trump had no part in it and he did nothing wrong to any one of these women. He never violated any one of these women. So I'll be honest, I could care less. Also, just on a side note, you can tell how good a man is by how much his daughter loves him, right? If a daughter shows complete love and loyalty to their father, chances are they're a good man. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway, besides that bill that was passed, well, that resolution, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Two other things happened today. Okay? There was SJ Resolution 80 and HJ Resolution 131. Okay. Now, here are the full legislative names of each one, of each resolution. Resolution 80, providing for congressional disapproval of the rule relating to the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska. Integrated Activity Plan Record of Decision. Now, this is a resolution that was sponsored by Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska, I believe. The representative of Alaska. And it was passed in the Senate on October 30th, 2025. Now, why it was introduced? It was introduced to repeal a Biden era rule that protected millions of acres in the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska, opening the land up for oil and gas leasing and development. The second resolution. This resolution is 131. The full legislative name of this resolution is providing for congressional disapproval of the rules submitted by the Bureau of Land Management relating to Coastal Plain Oil and Gas Leasing Program Record of Decision. And this resolution was introduced by Representative Nicholas J. Begij, another representative of Alaska. Now, why this was introduced is to nullify a Biden-era decision that restricted oil and gas leasing in the coastal plain of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, ANWR, abbreviated, thereby restoring the land to full development potential. While these resolutions aren't exactly introduced by President Trump, they were definitely spoken about and agreed upon. And here is literally where I draw the line. Messing with wildlife is going to make me hate you. Now, I'm not a perfect human being. I have my flaws. I am ghetto. But I love animals, regardless. Messing with wildlife that we've gone out of our way to protect. Again, let me repeat. Coastal plain of the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Now, let me remind you. I don't know if you're aware, but humans have literally, single-handedly, not literally, but figuratively, exterminated over 75% of wildlife. And that is a number that was quoted from a 1970s statistic. So imagine what that number is right now. The harsh truth, folks, is that one day we're going to look back and look at and think of animals as a thing of the past. Wildlife is going to be a thing of the past, and that infuriates me. It infuriates me. So basically, Trump is not stopping at any means to improve the U.S.'s oil supply, which this is something that you can consider as a benefit or a need, because the U.S. is crumbling. We need more resources. We need more leverage. This makes sense. But I'm sure we can do that without with wildlife. I mean, seriously. Alaska, do we really need to start drilling holes in Alaska? Now, what makes this worse is that I was actually able to watch the whole thing unfold. I was here in my home at work because I do work from home some days. I'm hybrid. And I just so happened to come across the live stream, the Fox News live stream of the House vote. And I was appalled. Appalled. I watched as each one of those Republican senators stood up to that stand and proudly recommended and vouched to pass each one of those resolutions. They were all, practically all, in favor of passing these resolutions. And as much as I talk shit about Democrats, those were the ones that were standing up for the protection and conservation of wildlife. It was a harsh reality that I had to endure with my own very eyes, with my very own eyes. I watched it. I watched them stand up and say, and I encourage my colleagues and my peers to vote in the same right. I'm like, what the are you crazy? You want to drill in Alaska? And like the Democrats are like, dude, why are we going to do that? There's people in Alaska that literally said it's a retarded thing to do. There's like, it's going to cost more to drill there because of the environment, the difficulties that are involved with setting up such a process. Like, this is all new. The terrain is undeveloped. It's it's undeveloped territory that requires a learning curve or education and research to do in a safe and hazardless manner. It's Alaska. It's freaking Alaska. It's cold. It's cold and I believe somewhat desolate, right? I mean, like, there are Indian tribes in Alaska. There's wildlife in Alaska. There's glaciers, ice in Alaska, right? Am I crazy? Am I mixing it up with something? I don't know. Isn't it cold in Alaska? I'll be honest. I'm not the most geographically inclined, but Alaska is not New York. It's Alaska is Alaska, bro. It's not Minnesota. It's freaking Alaska. We have no business drilling oil. What? Oh my God. I just can't believe it. I'm so mad right now. I don't know what to do. Because what we could have done, we can't do anymore. And this is why they say you need to be involved in the beginning. You gotta learn about what's going on in the scene, in the political scene. That way you can try to stop whatever it is that you disagree on. But apparently no one was home, not even myself. I saw Instagram ads talking about this, but I ignored it because I'm a piece of shit. Okay? I'm like, someone else will deal with it. Yeah. No one else dealt with it. Now, the only hope is that the common sense of those land developers and oil developers would continue to kick in, because although there were restrictions before, there was some leeway from what I heard during the House vote when Democrats were taking a stand and speaking their minute or two. They were saying that passing this resolution is dumb because they've actually tried to develop there. And the developers themselves have said this is not worth it. It takes too much money, it takes too much research. It's just something that is not necessary, and it's more of a pain to deal with than just going somewhere else. So the whole thing is not necessary, but by golly gosh, they just needed to pass this resolution to make it more appealing to these motherfuckers to go there and dig where there's wildlife struggling to survive. Probably and most likely endangered species that were once conserved and found refuge. And now, open sesame. It's like, what the F, bro? So, yeah. While everyone is just happy about the Epstein files, this is the going on that nobody's talking about. We're going to start drilling oil in Alaska and all over and just destroying and bulldozing all of those innocent creatures in Alaska that were once protected. All thanks to the mother Republicans. Okay? And one last thing. AI tells me that this didn't happen, but I watched it with my own very eyes. The Republicans voted for a bill to cut Medicare today. I watched it. But according to AI, this never happened. But let's just say it didn't happen for whatever reason, because let me tell you, the stream that I saw today, it's gone. Kid you not. Try to find the stream of the House vote yesterday. There was an entire stream. I watched it with my own very eyes. I even posted a YouTube short where I show you the stream that I was watching. I showed you all the votes that passed, the unanimous voting that occurred to release the Epstein files. In that same stream, they discussed these two resolutions as well. I think it was H829. H827. I forgot, and I wrote it down somewhere, and I think I lost it. But it was a Medicare resolution to cut it by 2%. I looked it up because I was like, "What the hell is this?" And yeah, it was a resolution passed to cut Medicare by 2%. And I literally watched the numbers, the Republican numbers for the nay. I mean, it's for yay or nay. Nay being no, yay being yes. And I just watched those numbers go up to like 100 and something. These Republicans were not playing. They were so ready to vote in favor of cutting those Medicare costs. But according to AI, like I said, that didn't happen. Apparently, something else happened months ago that is related to that. And I'll read it to you right now. And that was, apparently there's going to be a massive deficit spending automatically triggered roughly. The One Big Beautiful Bill did not directly cut Medicare payments, but its massive deficit spending automatically triggered roughly $500 billion in automatic Medicare cuts over the next decade under the statutory pay-as-you-go law. That's crazy. That's crazy. 500 billion in automatic Medicare cuts. See, I used to not want to believe these things to be true. I used to turn a blind eye. No, Republicans aren't that bad. I saw it with my own eyes. They voted so quickly to cut Medicare. It was absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Absolutely just shocking. Shocking. Because all I could think about was my great grandma. Because Medicare isn't for us. It's not EBT's food stamps. So you can go yourself with that. I strongly believe that EBT should be temporary. You should feel an urgency. If you're in a hole or you're down and out, you should feel urgently to do better. And the way to do that is to make sure that your benefits are not forever and they're very limited. Let's say 6 months, max a year, max. After a year, you get the off that shit. Okay? And a year is pushing it. A year is pushing it. 6 months, you should feel urgency. I need a job. I need a better job. I need to take whatever job because I'm about to be homeless. You feel me? That's the only way to get out of a situation. You need urgency. All right? So miss me with that. But Medicare? That's for the seniors. Nah, you can't be cutting $500 billion on that, bro. That's crazy. We old. We need help. We can't work. We don't have our sons and daughters anymore. Maybe we're by ourselves. We're old, withering, deteriorating. And you're cutting my benefits? No. Not everyone's rich. What the hell? That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Well, yeah. Again, while everyone's rejoicing about the Epstein files being released, these atrocious things happened under everyone's radar. Okay? I need y'all to stay vigilant. I need y'all to stop sipping the Kool-Aid. I need y'all to watch these House votes when they happen. All right? And we need to get involved. We need a purple party. Who's going to do it? I'm poor. I'm struggling. I cannot. All I can do is talk into this right here and spread the message. Please, somebody, do it. Do it. College educated people, passionate people, people who were raised by both parents. Please. Do it. I can't right now, bro. And that's it for today's drip. I appreciate y'all for listening. Thanks for plugging into my matrix. Until next time. Bye.